Hello, everyone. This is Jim Ransom back again with another reading of poems that I have encountered the past week or so. I guess we can title today's presentation, A Congeries of Poems. If you don't know what congeries means, look it up. These are poems with no connection to one another, but which have caught my eye because they seem to be perfect in some way. I think in the careful packaging of their point of view, it's presented in such a few words for the most part. We'll start with the one by Langston Hughes. One of his early ones is called I Look at the World. I Look at the World by Langston Hughes. I look at the world from awakening eyes in a black face. And this is what I see. This fenced-off narrow space assigned to me. I look then at the silly walls through dark eyes and a dark face, and this is what I know, that all these walls oppression builds will have to go. I look at my own body with eyes no longer blind, and I see that my own hands can make the world that's in my mind. Then let's hurry, comrades, the road to find. Well, I could do without the word comrades or comrades, but Hughes is crying out in this poem at what were then, this was one of his early poems, truly racist experiences in the world as he saw it. Many years later, I think we can say things are better, maybe not perfect, but certainly better. Now, the next poem I want to read is called The Promise by Jane Hirshfield. Jane Hirshfield is a poet who has written many books, including this one here, which is so big I can hardly hold it in my hands. And I want to thank Jane, or whoever sent it to me, because I didn't buy it. It was provided to me by an act of grace by somebody. And I don't know, maybe it's somebody who listens to this program, and I don't know who it is, but thank you. This poem is called The Promise. Stay, I said to the cut flowers. They bowed their heads lower. Stay, I said to the spider who fled. Stay, leaf. It reddened, embarrassed for me and for itself. Stay, I said to my body. It sat as a dog does, obedient for a moment, soon starting to tremble. Stay to the earth of riverine valley meadows, of fossiled escarpments, of limestone and sandstone. It looked back with a changing expression in silence. Stay, I said to my loves. Each answered, always. That's a very clever and ironic poem, isn't it? At least I think so. Jane Hirshfield. I think this is the first time we've read any of her poems, but may not be the last time. Okay, now next I'm going to read you a poem that I wrote a number of years ago. It's called Unmended Wall. Unmended Wall. And I have a marker in it here. It's from this book called Immortal Prairie, no longer in print, but if anybody would like to have a copy of it, I will certainly be happy to send it to you at no charge. I've got too many of them lying around here, if you know what I mean. Okay, Unmended Wall. We have no green this April in the Flint Hills. The overgrazed pastures muddy the horizon, but the thing unseen in a green year is the stone wall laid up more than a century ago by lean, sweaty ranch hands and German farmers striving to margin their own, cleaning up the field that might grow a crop, or gleaming rocks that build a wall to hem the cattle in, snaking along the edge of a road, broken and knocked. It still has enough integrity to show the world its purposes, and it juts out now on the sere rockscape, writhing like the prehistoric thing it is, extinct and purposeless. A reminder of things past, of names gone and huge exertions. There are no hands now to set the wall once more intact. Rocks do not complain, but slowly and with unrelenting motion slide back to the place where they belong, to once again create the bottom of an ancient inland ocean. Unmended Wall. Remember, you can have this book and it'll be free. Okay, now let's look at one more poem, this one by one of my favorite poets, Billy Collins. And it's called Sonnet. It had to happen. Billy Collins cleverly making fun or irony out of perhaps the most sacrosanct poetic form of all, the sonnets. This is from Billy Collins' book called Sailing Again Around the Room. Some of you have probably read it in past years. But this is Sonnet. All we need is 14 lines, well, 13 now. And after this, just a dozen, to launch a little ship on love's storm-tossed seas. Then only 10 more left, like rows of beans. How easily it goes unless you get Elizabethan and insist the iambic bongos must be played and rhymes positioned at the ends of lines, one for every station of the cross. But hang on here while we make the turn into the final 6, where all will be resolved, where longing and heartache will find an end, where Laura will tell Petrarch to put down his pen, take off those crazy medieval tights, blow out the lights, and come at last to bed. Billy Collins can get humor out of any subject and put it in as a surprise ending, which is what makes him a great poet, in my humble opinion. Well, with that, we'll call it quits for today, and I hope you enjoyed this interlude. Join me again in a week for more. Bye now.